Hey everybody, welcome to the Players Take episode 16. Players Take is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. For those of you who have not listened before, the Players Take is posted at 6 a.m. on Tuesdays, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, your favorite podcast app. If you've listened to the show before, please like the show, review the show, subscribe to the show, and share it with your friends. So this week, we've got a couple of guests. Dennison Rice and John Smith.
No relation to me, Montreal Rice.
No relation to Montreal. None at all. None at all. So these guys, they also host their own podcast. I don't know if you want to go through and explain to the audience what it's all about.
So we have our own podcast called The Catch Up, where Dennis and I grew up together. We were good friends and stuff, and so it kind of evolved from something we normally did anyway, where we were talking on the phone, catching up, doing this and that. And one time we were just like, why not turn this into a podcast? So essentially what we do is we catch up, but we make it, I don't know, what would you say, like, so other people can relate to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Topical.
We make it relatable.
Yeah, topical.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so,
I like
we
that name, though, The Catch Up.
Yeah, that is a very good name.
all right,
I
I appreciate that, yeah.
That is
Yeah,
top notch.
Yeah.
So we're catching up. We're talking about trending topics. And it can be anything and everything. We did talk about video games just a couple weeks ago.
That's very true.
And we've talked about the Me Too movement. We've talked about politics. We've talked about Uber. I mean, all sorts of stuff.
We've talked about relationships. I mean, we talk about anything that you can.
Yeah.
You guys are real cute over there. For the listeners' perspective, we have 3 mics because we couldn't figure out how to get 4. So John and Dennison are just right up against each other on the edge of the table, and they look like they're in love, like they're just enraptured.
Right.
So,
And this is very different for us because normally we're catching up from states apart.
Exactly.
And now we're like right in each other's grill. So.
Yeah. Normally it's a big computer screen, and
Yeah.
I just get to see like audio wavelengths.
Alrighty, well, let's jump into it, I guess. So, I guess Montreal, let's start with you. What have you been playing, man?
I haven't played a Division 2, so I need to take that off the list.
Yeah, I took it off the
I
list.
haven't touched that.
That poor game.
I've been...
No, you haven't.
All of our friends at work hate both of us
Yeah, I know.
because they all want to play with us, and we
Including
don't.
Dennison. He probably hates us right now, too.
Oh yeah, man. Me and Shane, my coworker, have been playing quite a lot. But
Hey, I'm glad you're having fun.
you guys,
I'm glad you guys are having fun.
I've been there.
I kind of burnt myself out the game, but I'm going to get back into it.
Yeah, I just need a little bit of time to play
I
other
am gonna
stuff.
get
I said that with PUBG, and I never really got back.
Yeah, but you
hate
legitimately hate PUBG.
Yeah. I can see that.
You can't talk about that game without spewing vile about it. So it's a little bit of a different situation. Too.
Okay.
I've been playing Devil May Cry 5. And
Did you beat Bloody Palace?
I got to like level 75,
Okay.
but I've been trying to play the game.
Is it hard? Like, is it hard past that point, or?
Yeah, it gets pretty hard. You can get one shot by a lot of enemies.
Oof, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been trying to play through the actual campaign again, so I can get to Dante Must Die mode. And in Dante Must Die mode, that's actual anything hits you, you're dead, one shot. But I'm trying to go through the campaign again, and it's kind of some parts I don't like. I don't like.
You've played it too much. You're starting to see the blemishes.
Yeah, some parts I don't like. I'm not particularly fond of that B character. He's not really fun to play.
Is he the one with the summons?
Yeah.
Okay.
His playstyle kind of is like counterintuitive to the other playstyles. They like really fast paced, and then you get to his parts like RPG style. And I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So I've been playing that, and then I've been participating in League of Legends. So,
participating in cancer. The phrasing on that is questionable.
So I mean, I got back to gold rank.
Are you losing a lot still, or are your teammates trash?
I've been on like a 12-game win streak.
Okay.
So
wait, this is including the one prior to getting the gold?
yeah.
Dude, you're on fire, man. You gotta be a
Because
platinum.
people were stupid. I just mute them all.
Okay.
Just mute all,
And
and
then
then
you
I just go.
Wreck them all.
Yeah.
You stop trying to communicate
I
with them.
stopped it. They're
Fair
they're
enough.
degenerates like me.
It's kind of how you
playing
have to
this
play MOBAs when you're playing by yourself.
But yeah, I try to play Sekiro some more, but I'm just too into Devil May Cry. I'm gonna get into it though, because I gotta catch up with our coworker Andy.
It's weird. I don't know if I want to play Sekiro. Like the more I watch it, the less I want to play it. It's weird. Like the less I watch videos of it.
Yeah, it's weird. This is the first like Soulsborne game, right?
Yeah.
I haven't really been interested in.
Yeah, I'm
So,
the same.
I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. I'm gonna jump into it though, maybe because everyone's talking about it. That's why I'm straying away from it. But
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Okay, Dennison, what have you been playing, man? You been playing anything?
Yeah, man. All I've been playing is Division 2.
Okay.
Because, that's the game that we all said that we were going to buy and we are all going to play. So, I bought it. I paid $60 for that.
I'm noticing some salt. There's a little
Enough.
bit of salt.
enough throwing shade. What do you think of the Division 2? I mean, because I remember when you first started playing it, you weren't super into it. So it seems like that has changed.
No, it's changed a lot because it's a game that I haven't, I guess, type that I haven't really jumped into.
Yeah. The looter shooter or just like looting games in general?
I mean, I guess it's the looter shooter, the thing, because
Okay.
to me, it kind of reminds me of, I guess, the hit point thing. Kind of
Yeah.
reminds me a little bit of Borderlands.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
It's
Yeah.
not the same.
No, it's not.
Because Borderlands is in a different category, or I
would
should say it's a
I'd
different
say that's
realm
fair, yeah.
or level. But I don't know. It's just it's a little bit. It's actually really exciting. I mean, it's very different and outside of my comfort zone, and I think that's what really gets me.
That's what's
Because
it's
of,
a
like-
different experience from what you're
Exactly,
used to.
exactly. Because I'm used to my single player games. My Kingdom Hearts, my Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe if I do want to be social,
Yeah.
I'll play Call of Duty. Call of Duty Zombies.
Zombies, yeah.
Yeah, I don't play the multiplayer. I play the zombies, man.
Right.
And I go by the zombies motto.
Yeah.
When you play zombies, you don't have life, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have friends, you don't have anybody but zombies,
Is
man.
that the zombies motto?
That's the
Is that
zombies
just life?
motto.
This sounds like an MMO.
Yeah, no, the moment that you get into zombies, you're in there to win it.
Yeah.
Like, you stay as long as you can.
Okay.
So what happened to? I know Battlefield used to be your junk. What happened to that game? Did you
Oh.
buy Battlefield 5?
Nah, bro.
Oh, you
I'm
didn't?
not wasting my money.
Oh.
But the Battle Royale mode came out. We
Yeah,
know how much
man.
you love those.
I hate Battle Royale.
You should have seen his face when you said that.
I hate Battle Royale so much. It's so played out. I'm so done. I don't
Okay,
like
what
Fortnite.
is it
I don't
about?
like.
What is it about BR that you don't like? I don't. This is it. It's just because of PUBG. PUBG has tainted you. I feel like.
It probably is that. I almost feel
'Cause
like
I don't feel like that's fair to Apex, Battlefield, even Call of Duty Blackout, Fortnite, all these other ones.
I think it's because it feels like a very futile progression. You
I
literally
see what you mean.
pop in and then you die.
And that's the whole point.
Maybe you hold on. Maybe
We were
you
just talking about
die.
Battlefront, though.
Maybe you die. Montreal and I, on the other hand,
Well,
no, we
I mean,
win.
Battlefield-
I understand what you're saying. Like, okay, compared to like.
We're talking about Star Wars Battlefront.
No.
Compared to, like,
Battlefield, bro.
Compared to other battle
Battlefield.
royales, I do like the realism of PUBG.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes I don't have any defensive options. Like when I'm playing like Apex Legends or even Blackout, and I get shot from behind.
Yeah.
I still have a chance to
Yeah.
like, turn around.
They
and
have
retaliate.
mitigated. They've mitigated mechanics. The building of Fortnite, Apex, you're way faster, and
Yeah.
you can move around a
And
lot
with
more.
PUBG, there really isn't like.
But that's the nature of. I think.
I
the
understand
thing
that's
is,
the nature. It's just
The thing
I
is,
can
if-
understand why people don't like the
if
game.
PUBG had come out after some of these other games, I think that'd be different. But since it was the first one, they're kind of stuck where they are, so they
Yeah.
have to work with what they have.
I think
you
there
know?
won't be any issue if they did increase movement speed. Like player movement speed,
Yeah.
if they increased it and it kind of made some of the animations more, you don't have to change anything else, but
Yeah.
just increase the player movement speed and change the fluidity of the animations, because that's what really fucks us up. I mean,
Yeah,
messes us
100%.
up, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
it's the animations and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm taking 5 years to jump over a fence. Now I'm dead because I got shot.
But the thing is, with your comment there, Dennison, that got me. Is that it's the same thing I'd say about any of these arena shooters, like Battlefield or Call of Duty. I mean, you just go in and you just die constantly. Like, to me, those games feel pointless because there is no, like, the victory condition. I don't even feel like you have control over it. Like, and honestly, when the game ends, who even cares? I mean, you're just going to go into the next game and do the same thing.
Well, I mean, I guess, but you get a little bit of progression because you are unlocking loot and equipment and stuff like that.
Okay, but that's outside of the actual match.
Per se, yes, it is. It is because no, I can't
PUBG
change.
Doesn't have anything like that.
No, PUBG doesn't have anything like that. But I don't know. I guess I just don't like it. I really don't.
Fair enough.
I think it's just that there's a good split second of like I literally don't have any. I don't have any way to like defend myself. Like Montreux was saying, like if I see someone and I don't have my gun ready, I'm dead. Like it's just like I just got shot. Like
I think that's why I like it though, because that forces you to be more thoughtful of how you move, how you position yourself. That's what I like about the game.
Yeah, but then I feel like I'm a rabbit. Like I'm running around like oh crap, something happened.
That's fine. Let's move on. Let's not get stuck on PUBG.
Well, I'll just say one more thing. I think
okay.
One more thing and that's it. I think PUBG would be better if it, which is probably not going to happen, but even just make the animations a little bit more fluid. That is possible.
I think that's a fair.
Yeah,
it's a fair criticism.
Probably fix the net code of it because sometimes
Oh, the desync.
Yeah, the desync is really bad.
I don't think that'll ever be fixed.
Yeah. And then, which they have been getting better with the maps. Mm-hmm. They do encourage more the newer maps like by Kendi and Sandhawk. They encourage more player engagement, whereas like the huge ones like Erangel and Miramar, those are like you travel 20 minutes and then you may die from a random sniper. Like I don't like those. That's why I hate those two maps. But that's it for me. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. You've been playing anything else, Dennison? Just Division 2?
No, I have played a little bit of Forza Horizon. Okay. They got some more. Okay. They got some more cars in there, so I've been kind of going with that. That's always been my nice, calm game that I can play.
What was the game we were talking about last week? Was it Drive Club?
Drive Club.
Yeah, how do you feel about? Did you even play Drive Club before?
I played Drive Club. When PSN had like a free version of it or whatever like that.
Yeah, because they're shutting down the servers next week for that, or not next week, but later this year.
This year,
that's perfectly fine by me. I think the physics in the game weren't good.
Okay,
like they didn't feel good. I felt like it was an arcade game. Like I felt like it was an arcade driving game. Yeah, like I just
it's so good to have like a racer gamer here.
Yeah, you got two of them actually. Oh, really? Yeah, for sure. But he's more like Forza, and I'm more like Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I mean I like Gran Turismo. It's just
But we have a little rivalry going like on that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm more into the arcadey racers myself. So
give me that Mario Kart.
Need for Speeds of the world. I used to like Need for Speed until EA ruined it, like they do.
I mean, I like Need for Speed. It's just.
It's not realistic.
No.
That's not what I'm looking for, though, personally.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I used to like Burnout.
Yeah.
Burnout. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was an
good.
arcade. That was an arcade racer.
Yes, it was. That was a good game.
Although, I mean, they have their, spiritual successor, which is Damage or something like that.
I haven't played it. I've been meaning to check it out.
I wouldn't actually want to check that one out.
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right, John, you've been playing anything?
Yeah, man. So I'm not as much of a gamer as y'all are, but I've been playing Gran Turismo Sport for sure, and I'm kind of like I've kind of gotten to a point with the Gran Turismo franchise, like kind of like what Dennison was saying with Battle Royale. Like I didn't really see the point to it because you're just playing AI that suck and they're really slow. And you upgrade your car, their cars aren't upgraded, and you're just blowing by them.
Yeah.
But Gran Turismo Sport's different because you're racing online. You got people you're actually competing with who are spending. Some of them are spending hundreds of dollars to get these rigs that are like sim rigs.
What?
Yeah,
there's microtransactions in there?
No, yeah, well, yes, there aren't, but for the most part, you can just get the cars just simply by playing.
Okay.
But these people are spending actual money to get like a wheel, steering wheel, pedals.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
The peripherals. Yeah.
No, I mean you can get a. Sorry to interject.
No, you're good.
Interject, but you can actually get a really good leg up actually just buying one of those sim rigs because the amount of control that you get from using a simulation rig or anything like that, you actually. I mean, you can do a lot because it's like
well, I'm sure it turns it into. I mean, you're driving like an actual car.
Yes,
right.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
So the head space with that changes, right? Like you feel more invested in the way, like how you're driving, right?
For sure.
Yeah,
there's so much more control.
I have a follower. He's been building his rig for. I think he's done with it now, but he's been building his rig for like over the last 2 years, and he has like the rotating car thing, but he's been actually building it for like 2 or 3 years.
What?
He's
That's
not rich
awesome.
at all, but he has a regular job like us. But he's been building it, and when he turns, the car turns, and he has a video of it and everything.
That's awesome.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah.
I love one of those. That'd be cool.
So I haven't started investing in that either. But like, they have like these worldwide competitions people go to, and some people have even gotten real life rides and real life racing teams.
Really?
Through Gran Turismo and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty fun, and I don't know. I'm just one of those sim type of guys. I've always kind of been.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of those type of dudes, but
Yeah.
So no, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a little bit more Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I will say the blemishes are starting to show.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Uh-oh.
Man,
Give me
you
the
are
blemishes.
such an asshole. Why do you want me to not like this game?
I'm just
Okay,
fucking with
you've
I'm
been
just
doing
fucking
this to
with
me every week.
I just
have. I will say some of the story is starting to. Here's a few things. The voice acting is starting to let the game down. I'm starting to notice that the voice actors just don't seem up to the task of really conveying the emotion necessary
You
to
don't
make
believe in
these
the power of
scenes.
friendship?
Oh my god! Don't forget about that. They're not conveying enough emotion to really give these scenes the impact they need.
Okay.
For what I'm expecting out of a Xenoblade game, right?
All right.
2 is the story itself. You know, you're going on this joyride adventure through all these titans that are all supposed to be different continents. I'm starting to really question why we're even going to all of them because there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to why we go to which one we go to. Because there was one, I'm trying to think of the fifth one you go to. They're like, oh, we have to go through this one to get to the next one. But then if you look at the map, that one is completely on the other side of the world from the one you went through. Like they're not like it's not like land masses the way normal land masses would be. So
they're actual titans. So
they like supposedly they move around and stuff because they're living creatures that people live on.
Yeah.
So that part of it's kind of starting to annoy me, and it's just like. It's obvious it's that JRPG trope of like they want you to see everything and you have to fight every single character you run into kind of thing. It's like that's starting to annoy me a little bit as well. So I'm still liking the game a lot, but it's definitely I'm starting to see some cracks for sure the more I play.
Okay.
So, but I'm still dedicated to beating it for sure. I'm actually I'm in chapter 6 now.
How many hours are you into it?
It's only like I've only been able to play like once a week, and I'm only getting like 2 or 3 hour sessions in. So that's why it's taken me so long to beat this game because it's like
I think that is like an 80-hour game.
Yeah, anyway. It's a very large game, and I'm slow too with these games. I run around every area and like find like everything I can before I move on to the next place. So also been playing Grim Dawn. We've gotten got you into it. Got another person at work into it.
Like really into
Dennison,
Where you at,
we need to get you into it.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Why are you good? Why? This game is super fun, man. Like it's god.
I don't like.
You don't like the Diablo style games?
No, I don't. I really don't. Like that just does not. That doesn't vibe with me. I really don't. The best I can do is third person. I can't do
the
whatever.
Isometric
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't do that.
I understand.
You're crazy. Because this is one of my favorite games of the last like 5 years, straight up. And playing it again has been like such a fun experience to get back into this game. Like it fulfills me in a way that most games don't. It's just such a nice because I can do it while I'm listening to a podcast. It's like mindless, but there's the character building element of it is so rewarding when you create a build and you actually like level it up and then get the equipment you need for that build, and you start to like see the effectiveness of the build you've created. That's where it's really rewarding. So it takes a while to get there, and I can understand that not being for some people. That grind can be a little bit much. But the newest expansion, actually, though, if you've played the game and gotten through Ultimate, the newest expansion, you can buy this item that lets you skip the first 2 difficulties, which is huge. That is hours and hours and hours of gameplay that they're saving you. So that's a really nice quality of life feature for somebody like me that has like 20 characters in this game.
Damn.
You know, I don't really want to run through normal and elite anymore. I just want to go straight into ultimate. So that's kind of a nice quality of life feature that they added. Also played about an hour of Borderlands 1 Remastered. I decided to buy this. I've always been morbidly curious about this game because I'm such a big Borderlands 2 fan. But it's funny to play it. It's a little rough around the edges, but it's still got that Borderlands feel that is so appealing to me. And it's funny playing through all these looter shooters over the years. Coming back to Borderlands now after playing all of them, it's making me realize how much I like this series compared to everything else. Like, I'm not gonna play Destiny 3. I don't care. Why? Borderlands does it better. Like, why even bother? Like, it just does it better, and it does it in a way that I really prefer. So
I'm hoping when Borderlands 3 comes out, it's a huge success and it does really good and it shows these looter shooters how to do a looter shooter. Like, even though it's not technically not a looter shooter, but
I mean, it is a looter shooter. It's just not online. Yeah. It's not like an always online games as a service looter shooter. You know, it's a single player game that you can play co-op, and they're gonna have DLC packs that are story DLC packs. They're not these ones that like Division or Destiny do. That, I mean, they're adding more missions and stuff, but they're like, you know, throwing. That's Denison's roommate, everybody. So yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna play some more Borderlands 1, but I kind of want to get into Borderlands 2 with you guys. So, all right, let's move into the news. So, first thing that happened this week, this is actually huge. This is a huge story. But I think for people who aren't really into the console ecosystem, this isn't that big of a deal, particularly PlayStation. So, PSN name changes went live this week, early in the week. Man. 13 years in the making, dude. This has been this has been something that people have been clamoring for years. Yeah. Literally like 10 years. Yep. People have been yelling at Sony for this. And they couldn't figure it out because their netcode supposedly is so screwed that what I learned a long time ago was that they hard-coded people's names into the netcode of PSN, and it makes it really hard to change because you have to convert all those into variables, and doing that when the service is live without taking PSN down to do it is like, that's an insane undertaking. So somehow they figured out some sort of middle ground where you can change your name, but there's all these caveats to changing your name where it will break games. It will completely break some games for you. You will lose DLC for certain games.
Oh, hell no.
And they don't have a list of games, like a comprehensive list, but they have a bunch. They have like a FAQ that just has all these warnings. Basically, if you change your name, a lot of things are going to break. Trophies are going to break. Like it's kind of a mess. But the fact that you can do it finally is such a huge thing, and they just kind of dropped it out of nowhere. They didn't make a big deal out of it, really. It just happened in the middle of the week.
It's trash.
But
people are actually gonna be happy with it.
Yeah, the thing for me with this is I just feel like they should just with PS5 just cut off the necrotic legs with the old PSN and just start over from scratch.
Yeah. I think that'd be too much for them to do that though.
But is this an acceptable alternative? Come on, dude. This is nuts.
Sony fanboys are going to defend it, so yeah.
I mean, I will say the pricing, it's $5 if you have PS Plus. First one's free for everybody.
Oh, that's cool.
But if you have PS Plus, it's $5 for every subsequent one, and then $10 if you don't have PS Plus.
Okay.
Wait.
So the pricing's not terrible for this, but
it's $10 on Xbox Live.
It's just kind of embarrassing. Yeah. It's just kind of embarrassing that Xbox and Steam, you can change your name willy-nilly whenever you want. Yeah. There's no, there's nothing breaks. There's no issues with it. It's just, this just makes Sony look really bad. I mean, it's nice that they're doing this, but I don't know. It just makes me wish for them doing it properly.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of feel like Sony is just like all those other Japanese companies that they like building stuff from the ground up, instead of using other platforms to build their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just because they built their own operating system and their own ecosystem without using anybody else.
Yeah.
And now it's biting them in the foot because they didn't think of,
Name
long term
and stuff
Right.
like that. Yeah.
Well, so this is a list of games that have been confirmed to have some issues so far. This list is fairly long. Absolver Downfall, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Big City Stories, Bloodborne, Call of Duty Ghosts, Crossout, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Dragon Quest Builders, FIFA 17, Gauntlet, Slayer Edition, God Eater 2 Rage Burst, Grand Theft Auto 5, Gundam Versus, Guns Up, Injustice 2, Killzone Shadowfall, which is a first-party game, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, MLB The Show 17, also a first-party game, Naruto Shippuden, Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, Naruto Shippuden Storm Trilogy, Naruto Storm, Road to Boruto expansion,
So
NBA
almost every
2K19,
major game.
PlayStation VR Worlds, Rock Band 4, Rocksmith 2014, Last of Us Remastered, another first-party game, Titanfall 2, Trackmania Turbo, Trove, Uncharted 4, another first-party game, Uno, Warframe, Wipeout Omega Collection. That is just what is confirmed right now. I am sure there's more than that.
So just off that list alone, if I'm a Bloodborne. I played Bloodborne.
5
almost platinum
first-party
that game.
games. That's crazy.
Yeah, I almost platinum Bloodborne. I didn't play Dark Souls 1 or 2 or Dark Souls 2 and 3 on PlayStation 4, or 4 rather. I played it on Xbox One.
Yeah.
But if I did play it on that, I wouldn't want to change my name because I don't want my achievements from that game to be messed up.
Yeah.
Because those games are seriously hard, and all the effort you put into those games would be gone because you want to change your name.
I don't know if
Dragon
trophies
Slayer.
are affected on those games, but if they are, that sucks.
I'm assuming that's what it is.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. You know how GTA people are too, man.
Oh,
You start getting issues
that would be
with
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm happy they did it finally, but it's just the way that this came out is it's so Sony right now. It's just so Sony right now. But all right, moving on. We talked about a potential Nintendo Direct that had been leaked that was supposed to happen on Thursday. It did not happen. There are rumors that it might happen Monday. I don't know. We'll find out if they do it. Reggie Fils-Aime's Reggie Fils-Aime's last day is Monday. That's the day he is retiring from Nintendo. So it would make sense for them to do a send off of some sort for him for that. But if they don't, then
the last Direct was a send off. To be honest with you, like the last.
They didn't do anything for him.
I mean, he announced it, and I was like,
but that wasn't a Direct. That was just a video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just did it. He just did his own Twitter video for it.
Oh, okay.
So Nintendo hasn't done anything officially themselves, really. Yeah,
Gotcha.
besides a few tweets about it. But all right, this is probably the big story of the week. Star Wars Celebrations happening in Chicago.
Oh my god!
They announced various things. There were some few Star Wars games. They had a trailer for Star Wars Episode 9.
Yeah.
But Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is Respawn's single-player Star Wars game, there was a trailer for it, and then they also announced the release date, which is going to be November 15th this year. Has everybody seen the trailer?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Montreal?
Hey.
Yeah, okay,
I've seen
sure.
it. Yeah.
Well,
I've
what
seen it.
what does everybody think? You guys hyped?
No, I ain't hype.
Oh, boy.
I'm tired of these goddamn trailers. I'm sorry. I'm tired of these trailers because all we saw was in-game or in-engine. What? Trailer
Cutscenes.
footage? Yeah, cutscenes. Like, let me see some gameplay, bro. And they're like, oh, we got the God of War 3 gameplay guy up here.
Yep.
He's like, oh man, the combat's
They were so vague about the
the combat's very weighty and meaty and blah blah blah. I'm
We
like,
wanted it to be thoughtful.
yeah,
Like, okay.
easy to get into, but hard to master. I'm like, can we see it though?
No.
And they're like, nah, son. But here's that guy from Gotham. You guys know that guy who's not the Joker, but he is a Joker, but he's not the Joker. Yeah, he's the voice actor. So I don't know.
I mean, I'm with you on the gameplay thing. I think video game trailers have this really bad tendency to not show you what the game is, and it's really irritating. However, this is their first trailer, so they're just trying to drum up hype. This is for an audience to a crowd that's not necessarily entirely full of gamers. So, it makes sense that they would try to hook people just on the idea of lore, story, things like that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
We will get a gameplay trailer before the game is out. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, but how many months though? Like,
I think E3.
That's so long.
Yeah, I
It's
can
only
see
2
E3.
months from now.
That's so far away.
All right,
That's so far.
Dennis and John, what did you guys think of the trailer?
Well, to me, or sorry,
No,
you
you
wanna
go ahead, man.
For me, it kind of reminded me of a little bit of the first time you saw like Watch Dogs, the first Watch Dogs trailer that they ever put out.
Yeah,
where it was like cinematic, and you kind of got gameplay, but it wasn't really gameplay because it's like this isn't going to look that way.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt like that, where it's just like, cool, they made a game.
Yeah.
All right. I can't wait to see what it's going to be about, actually, or what it's actually going to do. So that's kind of how I feel. Until I actually see like an actual trailer, not just a teaser, because this is what this is.
Yeah.
I mean, I might as well just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like any other movie teaser. It's just with gameplay, graphics, or whatever like that. Until I see that, I'm not gonna give it anything, to be honest.
yeah, for real. I mean, I feel the same way because it's like, you know, trailers have looked good for games for a while.
Yeah.
Like this is nothing new. So yeah, I'm the same way with y'all. Show me some gameplay, then we'll decide because. You know, last several Star Wars games that have come out, they've done this exact thing.
Yeah.
Where they make it look super cool with the cutscenes and stuff, and the gameplay is like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think too the thing they kept beating the drum for this is that it's a story-driven game, no multiplayer, no microtransactions.
That's
they
good.
really, really, really hit that home. They even said it during the presentation, which I found hilarious. They actually got quite a ovation for that too. So,
can I be that guy for a minute?
Sure.
Can I be this guy?
Go for it.
All right. So I mean, it's maybe controversial.
We like
but
all ranges of opinions on this show.
Right?
no offense to you guys.
No
offense.
Go for it.
But another white Jedi, like, come on, man. Can we get another? Can we get a?
I saw this take on Twitter.
Yeah, and normally I don't respond to that stuff, but they're right. Like the last couple Star Wars games we had, I'm like,
this is actually a great opportunity for them to have done that.
Yeah, or even not even human. Let me get another race, another alien 100%.
Race. That's
So I don't know. I was kind of disappointed in that, but I expected it, but I did want something different, you know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what kind of story they tell despite that. You know,
to be honest, I really don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care because Star Wars has always been a white person thing. To be complete.
Yo!
I mean, like, seriously, when you see brothers...
See, as soon as he said that...
The real hot takes, man.
As soon as he said that, shows, like, they need to, like, kind of diversify their
I mean, it's always been like that. So I'm like, this is what... all right,
what about Mace Windu?
Well, okay.
You got your man Samuel L. Jackson up in there, man.
Lando, man. Lando's going to be in the new movie.
But that's the thing, though, right? Okay, so you had Mace Windu. They drummed him up to be like the best Jedi ever, and then the fool gets like nuked instantly, just like instantly dead. Like Palpatine was just like, "Oh man, I can't do it. I'm tired." And then Anakin's like, "Hey man, you can't do this. Bam, get out."
In the side content, they did Mace Windu justice. Like he fought.
But who cares about the nobody cares about the side?
Exactly, nobody cares about side content. So
Clone Wars was dope.
Clone Wars was dope, man.
Clone Wars was dope, bro.
Clone Wars was dope, but I'm just saying, like, not every. If you want to get like true cinematic universe stuff, then you need like real people. People were like, "Oh man, Finn's gonna be a Jedi." No, he isn't. Well, that sucks. Well, then that kind of sucks. And
Finn
kind of
sucks.
I mean, exactly. Right? And Finn became like a side character in the first place. So I'm like, they instantly wrote him to be a side character. That's why I was like, I don't freaking care anymore. Jedi's, even when you get a good like even when a black person's a Jedi, he's not actually like a Jedi. They drum him up to be a cool Jedi, but he doesn't do anything.
Man,
like
Denison is fired.
Think about it though. They do that with everybody. I mean, Yoda was the only person who wasn't white who actually did something.
Yeah, that's true.
And all he did was jump around for like a couple seconds, and then that was it.
That's actually a really accurate hot take.
Crazy.
I like that.
What about hold on. I got a counterpoint. What about the Ewoks? They're the little teddy bear guys. You know, they did some shit. They knocked down AT-AT or ATSTs, and they killed so many stormtroopers.
But everybody,
the Ewoks were so powerful.
But everybody hated the Ewoks, and everybody thought they were stupid.
But I go for it. The only non-human character that we got that was like really badass was Darth Maul, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's true. But he died instantly.
Well,
No, it took a whole movie.
It took a whole movie.
And then he came back to life.
First of all, it took 2 Jedi to beat him. Let's be honest.
No,
about it,
it took 2 Jedi to beat him, but guess what? Think about it. They drummed him up. They did the same thing with Mace Windu because they drummed him up to be this real cool guy. It's like, oh, he's the super awesome Sith, and then they actually get to the real fight, and he's like, oh, cool. He's got two lightsabers, or he's got double-sided lightsabers. Start fighting him and stuff like that. He kills Qui-Gon, and then Obi-Wan just wills himself to kill freaking Darth Maul because he's just like, I'm gonna jump up, and then he just kills him, and then that's it.
So I remember when Star
he dies
Wars,
instantly.
Yeah, I remember Star Wars, The Force Awakens came out, and people were like up in arms about a black stormtrooper. So now this is like kind of counterintuitive to my point I just made.
Yeah.
Is it the fans' fault for expecting him to be white when the content itself is kind of white?
Maybe.
90% white.
Yeah.
So can you blame out your fans for kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Like feeding your fans that, or like grooming your fans for that.
Yeah. And in regards to this game too, I was thinking, as I was watching the trailer, I was like, this looks just like the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Well, they went the most boring route they could with the main character.
Yeah.
Like they're not that is my biggest concern coming out of the trailer is that at this point, whether you agree with it or not, it's a boring decision. It's a safe decision.
It's a very safe decision.
It makes me wonder how safe the rest of the game around that is going to be. The combat, the story, everything else.
Because to be honest, right, this is Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
That happened during...
That, 100%. We've had that
Order
game
66.
before. Yeah, we've had that game.
And he was...
I mean, it was a different... Yeah, it was a different premise because he was a Sith.
Yeah, he was out to kill the rest of the Jedi, but that premise happened during Order X or Order 66. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see though.
I see what you mean.
They took a boring route with it. They could have. We didn't have to have a human character. We could have had the tentacle ladies.
I think they should have gone away from human entirely.
Yeah, they should have did like
they've done that with Ahsoka in Clone Wars.
That's why.
Right? She might even be in this game actually too.
Yeah, they hinted at that.
They hinted that she might be in this game. So yeah, I don't.
It is a boring decision, but I mean, it's Star Wars.
We'll see what they do with it, though. I mean, I don't want to make judgment before we played anything or seen anything.
Yeah, they may throw a twist in there. Like,
who knows?
Twist.
Fair enough. Well, that's going to be a big title, regardless of what we think of the main character.
Yeah.
So that's another big one we got coming later this year. So we've got quite a few starting to stack up for the fall, which is getting exciting because the early part of this year has been a little disappointing. All right, let's move on. Release dates. For those of you board gamers out there, Settlers of Catan is getting a digital version. Settlers of Catan is a very, very well-known board game. It's a great board game, in fact. I've played it many times.
I've seen it in your room.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
And it's getting a digital version on Switch. That is coming on June 20th.
How would that work? A digital version of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a game in digital form. You can play it online now. So that's the cool part about this is obviously like playing it by yourself, that's going to be boring as hell. But if you play with other people, like that's a cool way to play a board game.
I like that. I would buy it if you guys would buy it.
Me too, exactly. Asmodee Digital's the one making it. They're actually converting a lot of board games to digital form.
Okay.
They also have Pandemic and a couple others that are also coming to Switch. I don't think they have firm release dates though.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool though to see the Switch get its portfolio a little bit more diverse with things like this. Like this is
they know their target audience though.
Yeah.
I think people are like Switch players are mainly PC players and PC players are mainly like a lot of them are board game players.
Well, I think this will sell pretty well too.
Yeah.
I really think this could do well on Switch. So, okay. So, what is turning into a weekly story for us? Looks like we're getting potentially another Epic Store exclusive, and it's coming out 3 days from when we're recording this podcast. This isn't confirmed, but the press release is extremely suggestive that it's going to the Epic Store. So, this is the official story from the developer of the game, publisher of the game. Sales of Anno 1800 will be discontinued on Steam after April 16th due to a publisher decision to make the game exclusive to another PC store.
Wow.
The publisher has assured us that all prior sales of the game on Steam will be fulfilled on Steam, and Steam owners will be able to access the game and any future updates or DLC through Steam. This is hilarious that this happened again. 3 days before this game's coming out. This is insane. Like, you're just pulling the rug out from under people. It's crazy. Yeah. Because the thing about this that sucks is some of these games are multiplayer games. And when it's on the Epic Store, that's not cross-platform. So if you want to play this game, I'm pretty sure Anno is a game you can play multiplayer. If you want to play multiplayer, your community just gets completely smushed because you have no potential future with it. Yeah. Like, because there's nobody. It's only the people who pre-ordered who are going to have the game to play with you. So that makes it a very small segment of the audience, you know. So I don't know how abreast you guys are of this Epic Store kind of rise up.
Yeah, so it's
the
like
past few months.
It's like equivalent to like Xbox and PS4, but on PC. So you got the Steam library where you can download games from Steam, or you can use Epic Store, which just came out. You know, download stuff from there, but they're not. You can't play with each other, even though you're all on PC.
Well, so it's like that, but look at it like they're on the same system. So it's like PS4 had 2 different stores you could buy games from.
Yeah,
that's kind of what's happening here.
Okay.
It's a huge story in the PC gaming space because they are disrupting PC gaming in a big way, and people are really upset about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
really upset about it.
Do you think that it could cause people to kind of? I don't know. I mean, PC gamers in general are interesting folks. I mean,
Dennis, you are throwing a lot of shade.
No. I'm just saying.
Let me hold on. Let me clarify something for the audience.
This is a PC player.
Dennison normally is a very, very, very kind, humble individual. I don't know what's coming out right now.
Oh, man. That's that podcast.
It's that podcast, Dennison. Yeah,
it's a different side.
I like it. Anyways, continue your point.
No, I mean, I just know, like, as PC gamers, we've always kind of said, like, oh, you know, one of the big features is we don't have to worry about
exclusives.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about exclusives. We don't have to worry about like
that's a good point.
Asking for crossplay or anything like that. So like that literally by having an Epic store or just another store or whatever like that, and like you said, fragmenting your or segmenting the people who buy either on the Epic store or the Steam or whatever like that, and killing your audience. I almost feel like that could maybe later on down the line cause people to kind of move away from PC gaming.
Yeah, overall, it would kill the
industry. Yeah, exactly, because it would make people want to go back to consoles because it's like, hey, at least if I go to consoles, I already have a whole, you know, community built and ready to go.
Yeah. And then you have the PS4 exclusives. If you go to like PS4 or PS5 or whenever that comes out, you can have the PlayStation exclusives or like the Xbox exclusive.
Yeah. So what makes it about these platforms that make them exclusive from each other?
So they're made by 2 different companies. So Steam is made by Valve. Epic Store is made by Epic. They're not. They don't talk to each other in any way.
Okay.
So they would have to specifically design their stores in order for that to happen.
Yeah. So when you're playing these games, you're playing them on their server?
Yes.
Okay.
Their servers. They're hosting their own servers for multiplayer. And I do want to confirm Anno 1800 does have multiplayer. Okay. So that's actually the point I was making earlier is very real for this game. Yeah. 3 days before release, they announced this. That is nuts.
I feel like that can kill your game.
That's exactly
That's very possible. I doubt it will. These games are fairly popular, but I just think it's because this was rumored a while ago. Because the publisher for this game, there was the last game that I don't remember what the game was, but the last game that they announced as exclusive for Epic. Epic said they had another game in the works that was going to be exclusive from this publisher, and I think this was that game. So why would you wait to now to announce that? You know, why wouldn't you announce it earlier? You know, give people some time to consider their decision of where they want to buy it. You know,
exactly.
Like another reason why developers are doing this is because you get a bigger cut. So Steam takes like what
30%
of every game.
If your game is made with an engine, you have to pay the engine license fee as well.
Oh, okay.
So whereas Epic Store they take 12%.
Yeah.
So that's a huge boost in revenue for you.
They also make a game engine called Unreal. And if you make your game in Unreal and sell it on their store, they don't take the 5% cut. So it's 12% flat. They include that 5% in the 12%. So say you were selling on Steam and you made your game in Unreal, you'd get the 30% cut to Steam and then a 5% cut to Epic for the engine. So it'd be 65% is what you would get. So that's a huge difference for a lot of these developers, and that's the obvious reason why they're going there. But they're also getting paid by Epic. Epic's making deals. They're just giving them lump sums of money, like millions and millions of dollars.
They have the money from Fortnite.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's how they've been doing this. But their store, the thing is their store is trash. Like, it has like no features. It doesn't even have a cart right now. Like, you have to buy every game individually. If you want to buy like 5 games,
that's wild.
It is wild.
That's wild.
And they it's not like that feature is imminent either. They said in the next 6 months they'll have a cart. Like, are you kidding me? How did you not launch with that? Like, that is insane to me. So this story, it's just crazy that this just continues to happen though. Like, every week we're getting another big game that is an exclusive to the store. Like, and Valve's doing nothing.
So are they waiting till the last second to announce that for a reason?
I think they want to piss off like anybody that reserved the game on Steam.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but people can cancel it, but
from my perspective, though, they're being a-holes. Like, I think they should announce it earlier so people can actually consider their purchase decision. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas it seems like they're trying to take advantage of people not knowing because they miss the announcement.
They're giving such a short window that by the time you hear about this, it'll be too late for you to refund or whatever.
Exactly.
So that's been a fun story to continue to monitor. But following up on another story from last week, Octopath Traveler we said was coming to PC. That actually has been confirmed. It's coming June 7th. So if you want to play that on PC,
can't wait till it comes on my cell phone.
It's not coming on your cell phone.
It is.
Jesus.
It's made by Square Enix, so
they put Final Fantasy VII on everything. You can play it on your toaster.
Yeah, but this isn't, dude. This game probably couldn't run on your phone. So
they can make it work.
Maybe they could. I don't know.
I mean, phones are pretty powerful nowadays.
Don't give them ideas, guys. Stop it. Okay, stop it. Blizzard's already. Hopefully, they poisoned the well with this.
Nah, man, they're bringing StarCraft to mobile as well.
Hey.
Everything's mobile.
They said they're working on mobile games for all their major franchises, so it's possible.
StarCraft for real. I'd mess with that.
You're part of the problem, John. You're part of the problem. All right, let's move on to the game releases. A couple to note: the game we were just talking about, Anno 1800, that's coming out on PC. Cuphead is coming out for Switch. That's actually a big get for Switch.
I would love that.
That's an interesting one. I'm not really seeing anything else of note that I particularly care about. You guys see anything?
Oh man, that World War Z video game, man.
What? Yeah, is that the movie? Is that like the book/movie universe?
I heard that it's kind of in its own thing a little bit.
The game?
Mm-hmm.
No.
If I think this is the game I'm thinking of. Huh. This is made by Square Enix? What? Our World is Ending? No, that's not it. I'm thinking about something else. Okay, that's not it.
Oh, actually, yeah, Final Fantasy 10-2 HD Remaster is coming to Switch and Xbox One as well.
Yeah,
oh, man, guys.
Where's the phone for that one?
Around the corner.
That's next. That's the next one. All right. Well, that's it for game releases.
I mean, you got some Power Rangers, though.
Yeah. What's Weedcraft?
Actually, I thought I heard a story about that game that it was. I think it's getting. What is it? I think it's getting blocked on YouTube or something.
For
like that. I think so. I think that's what it was.
YouTube's blocking everything.
I don't know,
days,
but all right, let's move on. Topic of the show. So the reason we wanted to have Dennison and John on, because Dennison in particular, he took issue with our Kingdom Hearts 3 review way back when. He has a bit of a different opinion on the game, and he kind of, wanted to talk to us about it. So, Dennison, what is it about Kingdom Hearts 3 that you enjoy versus the way we kind of took the game?
So, I'm gonna say half of my opinion is mainly because I'm just happy that the series that I started with is for the most part over.
Yeah, sure.
So
Nah, it's not.
Did you not watch the
no,
secret movie?
no. I know. There's more. I'm saying.
What are you saying, then? What are you saying?
Just for everybody, this is gonna get a little heated, probably.
I'm saying the Xehanort trilogy or whatever saga that they wanted to do is over.
Okay.
Which means that if I truly don't care anymore about Kingdom Hearts, I can just say I'm done.
Yeah.
Cool. Because at least they tied up the loose ends, tied up the loose ends. Because I think they did tie up the loose ends. It's just there were certain.
Really,
if you think about everything, they tied up everything. They created new ones, but they tied up loose ends.
They didn't do as much though. They didn't create as many loose ends. Because I remember after every game, it was like 50 new tie-ins. You're like, what is going on? But
yeah, I mean, they're usually big, like big giant holes. Yeah. Like, hey guys, it'll be in the next one.
I want to say this before we get any deeper. We are more than likely going to talk about spoilers. So if you haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 or finished Kingdom Hearts 3, dip out now.
Yeah,
because we're probably going deep. So all right, continue.
So yeah, no, I mean
so from a lore perspective, right, of Kingdom Hearts 3, how did you like it?
I liked it. I mean, I thought they usually do a decent job of retconning things to make sure that it works with their story.
Okay.
Of the current game.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So I think it was fine for that because I think they got all the plot points that I was hoping for. The things that I had thought about, like, okay, well, hopefully they talk about this. They talk about it in some form or fashion. There were certain things that they didn't push on.
Yeah.
It was just like a quick little like, hey man, here you go, and then bye, and then just moves on to the next topic.
Yeah.
But
I 100% agree with you. My only issue is, I guess, the pacing of said story of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh yeah, no, it was atrocious.
Well, yeah. So I think the main thing we had a problem with the game, forgetting the final 10 hours or so when you get out of the Disney worlds. The Disney worlds themselves were, for the most part, just like they didn't need to be there.
They didn't need to be there, but I knew they were going to be there, so it's
of course
it was
we
whatever.
all know that.
Yeah,
I mean, the
But
thing is, that's why I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care like about what was all going on in the Disney World because of like Disney Worlds have always been cannon fodder to the main overarching story.
That's not true, though.
I can't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 integrated the Disney storylines into the main game story. Very
Kingdom
well,
Hearts,
in fact.
Kingdom Hearts 2 did it only the second time around. The first time was literally rehashing
that was the beginning and the end
Well,
with these storylines.
well, the
Because
first time
every game after Kingdom Hearts 2 started doing what Kingdom Hearts 3 did, where the Disney storylines are completely separate from the main game, and they're just little vignettes.
And that's the reason why I didn't care because I was like, this is what they've been
I'm
doing.
be a diehard defender of Kingdom Hearts 2. Storyline, even the first go around, you had a purpose to go to each world because you had to unlock it. You had to unlock the keys to go there.
Right.
Second time, you had to come back and seal them, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, in Kingdom Hearts 3, they literally do not mention the reason. Why am I going to Tangela? Oh, no. I think the Keyblade's pointing me there. Let's go there. What? The Keyblade's pointing you there? So you're just going to go there.
Bad, dude.
Sora had no motivation in this game at all.
And this is typified in Frozen specifically is the key.
Okay, let's not talk about Frozen. Let's talk about
Let's talk about Frozen.
Why?
Because
Why
no,
not?
you
Why
want to
won't
know
we talk
why?
about Frozen?
Because Frozen was
We agree with Frozen.
Well, yeah, no. Frozen was terrible, but I'm trying to say that I really don't like Frozen because it was literally Disney coming in to Square Enix, or really just coming in and saying, "Hey, man," grabbed them by the balls and said, "Hey, you're gonna do this," and then they're just like, "Wait, but I wanted to do," because if you look at Frozen by like a gameplay standpoint, and then if you actually look at it by a design standpoint, you can see that there are holes on where they were supposed to do things.
Yes.
And even how the story lays out,
100%.
there were holes in where they were supposed to do things. And even if there was an article that came out where people data mined and they were able to find out that there was a whole nother like level of stuff, like a whole nother arena that was all put together for that game for that world by itself.
Yeah, so what I actually heard too was that the labyrinth that comes out of nowhere.
Yes, that was supposed to be Elsa making that, right?
Yeah, that was actually supposed to be inside her castle.
Yeah,
at the top of it, like it represents the top of her castle.
Yep.
So that was supposed to be her castle.
Yeah, and Larxene even has a line when she's building it like, "Ugh, ice. I don't know how to work with ice." And it's like she makes this super elaborate castle.
Larxene is actually very elaborate in what she says. She's like, because, well, she's not really, I think she says, like, she's not really sure if she's light or dark herself or something like that. Yeah. Even when you first meet Elsa, the Heartless don't really, they respond to her in a
They don't attack.
Yeah,
the only reason they attack is because Sora, Goofy, and Donald are aggressive towards them.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
they don't actually initiate combat.
So what I think was supposed to happen was, like, even with what's her snowman guy?
Olaf?
Not Olaf.
No, the big behemoth one.
Oh, yes. Yes. Actually, that makes a lot more sense when you deal with the boss battle.
Yeah.
At the very end of it.
You're supposed to fight with him and then use him throughout the labyrinth, and then you're gonna fight Elsa. And if they didn't want you to fight Elsa, you're gonna fight the giant ice wolf that comes out of her. Because each world, like the Heartless or the Unversed, manifests itself out of the Disney Disney character. Yeah. Except for this world, it was what's his name, Han?
I don't remember.
Well, no, it was the villain from the movie who doesn't say a single word in this game.
Yeah, it's because they had to push him in quick.
Yeah.
I don't remember what his name is. He was boring, and I don't care.
But okay, the thing is, my thing with this is all great that they had plans to do other things. That does not excuse what we got. Like, what they are making us pay money for was not good stuff. It was really low quality.
No, you're right. You're right. It doesn't excuse it.
And maybe that's on Disney, but let me get into a larger point here. This game broke me on Kingdom Hearts because it became obvious that Disney had their hands all over this game. World to world to world, what they could do, what characters they could use, how they could use those characters. And then when Tetsuya Nomura started talking about this game after it came out, and he was like, oh yeah, he was talking about Kingdom Hearts 1, where it was like, yeah, they wouldn't let us use Mickey at all. We could use him for like one scene.
Yep.
It's like, all the games must be like this then. They must literally be determining exactly what they're allowed to use in every single section of the game. And we had a conversation, Dennison, after this game came out, that we were kind of hopeful that secret movie was indicating that maybe Square might break Kingdom Hearts off from Disney and just use their own universes, because they have plenty of things to mine with their own content or their own IP that they could just seamlessly transition away from Disney, where they don't have to be impacted on the creative control of these games, because it's becoming clear, and I think Kingdom Hearts 3 was the one that broke the camel's back, that this, I don't think this can work going forward, because if they're not allowed to make the game they want to make, what is the point of these games?
Yeah, no, I think that's completely correct, because I think just looking at like interviews with Tetsuya Nomura, he was every single interview when it sounds like when he's talking about Disney or anything like that, he sounds tired.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's like, I'm just here because they told me that I had to do certain things.
I'm sure they're exhausting to work
because
with.
I feel like if they let him do everything, like that's why I think Kingdom Hearts 1 worked so well. Yeah. Is because it was Tetsuya Nomura with Disney having like a little bit of stuff.
He also didn't write that game at all.
He did?
No, he was the director of the game. That was the first game that he was like a director of. They had a full writing team for that game. He didn't have his fingers on the story of that game at all.
Wow.
From my understanding of things, yeah.
Okay.
So that also explains why that game probably has one of the better stories within the Kingdom Hearts universe, is because the dude's not a writer. He's an artist.
True.
He's a character designer. That's what he does. He doesn't write stories. So the fact that he's turned into this like the maestro of Kingdom Hearts, I think has been bad for the series. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I don't think, even if they get creative control, I don't think that's going to change going forward. I think he'll still be heavily involved in the story writing element of it. Maybe he'll be able to write better stories without Disney telling him what he can and can't do. But that's to be seen, right?
I just think my relationship with the game kind of faltered because people in the Kingdom Hearts community don't see the fault in the game.
No, some of them don't,
and they won't improve upon those faults in the game. So the next couple of games that come out, they're going to still have the same issues.
Yeah,
right.
Because not all the issues are Disney based. Yeah. There's more issues to the game than just the Disney part of it.
Yeah, I mean, Disney overlords have been everywhere. They mess with Star Wars. They mess with that. So I mean, that comes with the territory. We already know that.
Yeah.
But there are other faults in the game, not just with. I mean, even if it had the Frozen situation, right? It was just like certain scenes that were directed that were like really trash. Like they're like, "Hey, how are you doing?" 5 seconds in between. I'm okay. How about you? I'm doing fine. How about yourself? And it's like, what?
But is that really directing though? I don't think that's directing. I think that's whoever's editing that they tear it down.
If you're a director or producer, you're supposed to look over this stuff with a fine-tooth comb and be like, okay, that's like really long.
Well, they also spent 7 years making this game.
Exactly.
Too, so.
About that.
Because I'm playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 right now, and that flow, I mean, some scenes are there, but like when you're talking to, especially at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts, which is obviously atrocious, but even still, when you're Roxas and you're talking to like your crew, it's not, they sound like human, kind of like they sound like what Japanese people think American people talk like.
Right. Yeah.
But they still sound like a dub version of an anime. Like it still sounds okay, passable. And I'm like, all right, I can deal with this. But like when I listen to Kingdom Hearts 3, it's just like robots, and I'm like, what is going on with this scene? I'm literally like trying to skip through stuff. I don't want to skip through stuff because I'm like, I might miss something. But I want to skip through it because what the hell, like. I don't know, man. It's just...
I think for sure the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3 was really, really bad like that.
Yeah.
No.
But it got
Olympus,
better as it got through.
Olympus,
as it got farther.
Olympus
through.
was horrifically bad. Like looking back on it, that world is the worst part of the game.
No,
besides Frozen. Frozen, I think that world is one of the worst parts of the game.
I do not think Olympus is that bad.
I hated that world.
I think
that world set the tone for the rest of the game for me.
I'll go on record and say that's probably one of the better worlds to play through. It has a nice flow. It has a typical Kingdom Hearts flow.
No, I'll go with Montreux. I think voice acting wise, it was terrible.
It's terrible.
But actual gameplay wise is fine.
I just thought some of the environments were too big. There were some sections of it that I just didn't think needed to be there. Like, because Kingdom Hearts worlds are generally they're linear. Like, they're not usually wide, and I think that's the design they went with this game is they were trying to make them wider. Right? They did it in Toy Story. They did it in Pirates of the Caribbean. They did it in Olympus. They did it in a lot of the world. Tangled as well, actually, where they're linear, but they have a lot like. I don't know that word that the God of War director used, wide linear or whatever. They did that a lot. And I just don't think it worked super well in this game a lot of the time.
I don't know. I think in some ways I actually liked it because it reminded me, because the annoyance that I had with, like, say, some of the older games when you go back, they always had like that loading effect.
That's true.
Every single freaking place that you had to go to. Oh, let me walk, 5 minutes, and then, okay, I got to load again.
Yeah, the limitations.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, and that was the limitations of the hardware. On this one, it was so much better because the only time that you had to load was when you're going into like a whole different section,
like a whole new area.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of like, let me go 5 feet. Oh, yeah, 5 feet, and then so. I felt like that actually helped the flow of the game better.
Because Olympus was cool because like you did your first like when they say like they combine how you go to worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, you go to the worlds and you come back. Yeah. Olympus to me did that really well in one playthrough. Like you did the first boss, and then you had to go to the god to actual Olympus and then fight the Titan gods.
Yeah. So like I just think that level was too long.
I mean, all the levels are too long. I just think that one flowed really well, in my opinion. That's why I was really hyped, because I'm like, if the rest of the game is like this, then, okay, cool, I can deal with that. But as we saw, actually, Tangled was really good, too. That flow of that world was really cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was good, too.
Yeah, and Toy Story could have been cool if they didn't do it the way they did it.
Oh my God.
They're like, go here and save Ham and Rex, and then you save Rex, and then you go save Ham, and they're like, oh, Rex walked off again. Go save Rex again.
Yeah.
So why is Rex so stupid?
He got like captured, and he's just like, I'm gonna go to the video game store. Like, okay.
So I actually didn't have too much of a problem with that. I guess it is a little bit of me. It reminds me a little bit of. It was one map in Kingdom Hearts 2 where you had something very similar to stupid like that. I think it might have been Mulan when you were first going. You had to go up the mountain, go back down because of bullcrap. So, because you had to chase a heartless dragon, something stupid like that.
Yep.
So I didn't really care because I was like, this has happened. They always make some character really dumb to get you to where you need to be.
I understand that, but why can't they do it better? Why do we have to just accept that? Like, why? That annoys me that we just all just accept that. Like, why can't we just get better game design then? Like, what's so hard about that? I don't.
Yeah, and that's the part I'm talking about. Where like we accept it and it's not
yeah,
going to change.
we don't need to accept it. Kingdom Hearts could be so awesome, but it's not. It's like the best games that are in Kingdom Hearts. They're like 8s. Those are the best games in Kingdom Hearts. The worst games in Kingdom Hearts are like 5s. There's no 9s or 10s in the Kingdom Hearts series.
So how long did you wait for this game?
My life.
God,
if you want to do that.
No, for real. How long did you wait for this from the last one?
Was it like 13 years, something like that?
About 13, 14 years.
And I don't feel like it was worth the wait.
No, not at all.
Well,
The hype wasn't worth it.
Story wise, I think it was at least worth the wait because I at least
got closure.
I got closure,
Okay.
and that was my feeling at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
I got closure. Finally, after so long, I got freaking closure, and that was what I cared about.
And that's
The
why
gameplay, yes, it let me down.
Oh yeah.
The pacing let me
Man, I'm
down.
in a different spot
But-
than you guys with this.
But
I was
got
mad that I
closure.
wasted all this time playing all these fucking games for that.
see,
Like-
that's the thing, though. I was more about it's the ride, baby. I got up there.
Hey.
Like
That's fair. There were some enjoyable moments along
exactly
that
because
ride.
I mean I didn't. It's not like I didn't enjoy Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts
I
2. It's
would
not
be
like I
lying
didn't.
if I didn't say I wasn't like. I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But and then I quickly got back to my cynical ways. But I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean,
Like I don't think it's a bad game. Like I don't think it's.
okay.
I don't think it's.
disagree at.
Okay,
No,
so
no, the thing is, I don't think it's a bad game either. We both said it was a 5, which I consider to be average.
Yeah.
And that is what it is.
Yeah.
It is an average video game.
exactly.
Like there are elements of it that are really bad,
Yes.
and there are elements of it that are decent to good, but there just aren't enough of either one to really
it's not-
push it in a direction. For
I think
me.
I think Kingdom Hearts 3, in some ways, which kind of annoys me, right? It kind of pains me. I almost feel like they tried to make it so inclusive to everyone else that they actually alienated their own fan base.
Oh, that's a good. That's
I think that's because I've seen reviews of people who've never played a Kingdom Hearts game, and they're like, okay,
they were positive. Yeah,
they were
There
like,
was a lot
oh,
of
this is
positive.
actually pretty
But you know
cool.
what? I've seen reviews of people who like absolutely love the series, and they're like, "Man, this game's a 9 for me." I'm like, "Really?"
No, I've seen that too. But I still feel like, for the most part, I've seen more people who are fans. Most of the fans, I feel like they're confused. Most of the fans are confused
base
about
is
the
definitely
about the game because you like you said, you have people who hate it and think it should be scored from the earth, and they should just make another Kingdom Hearts 3 because this wasn't my Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Or you have people who thought it was the best game in the world.
Not my president. Not my
Not my Kingdom Hearts 3.
But I feel like that's kind of that's your band camps, right? That's your band camps that you have here.
But it's interesting. So I'll be on YouTube all the time, and like my YouTube like filters stuff out for like how I just because Google is like all in your business and stuff like that. So it gives me like Kingdom Hearts reviews. So like when the game first came out, I was seeing like really positive reviews, but now I'm seeing a lot of videos now. It's like Kingdom Hearts retrospective, Kingdom Hearts 3, a second look, and these second looks are people are like, yeah, I noticed this and I didn't like that my
Montreal,
first time.
did I not say this was gonna?
We both said,
Yeah, did we not say this was gonna happen? I hate gamers. They're so predictable. They get so absorbed in hype that they don't let their brains work for them. Like, are you kidding me? No, this shit makes me so angry. This happened with Breath of the Wild. It happened with Kingdom Hearts 3. It happened with Mario Odyssey. It's going to happen with probably freaking Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Like, these games come out and people just lose their minds. They're like, I'm so happy that this game is here. It's amazing just because it's here. It's like, that's not reality.
But Justin, you're I think the problem is that You're forgetting that there's an emotional standpoint to this.
Yes.
Because if you look at it logically, then reviews should be absolute for the most part. There wouldn't make any sense for
logic versus emotion.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like
he's on the.
I mean,
track.
It's just like when you're dating someone, right?
Yeah.
The first time that you date that person, you're like, man, this is amazing. I love this person. Then you get 6 months into the relationship.
I don't know how many dates you've been on, but
no. I'm saying like when you first start the relationship.
Honeymoon
period.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll be like
the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, no, when you first start that, you're like, this is amazing. This is great. I love this person.
Yeah.
And then reality sets.
The cracks start to show.
Yeah, and then you start seeing problems. Not saying that this is going to make, end your relationship, but I'm just saying that
you see that you got to work on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the same well, and that's the same thing with video games, right? With this hype, we become emotionally attached to these games. It becomes less of a logical thing, and that's the whole point of marketing, right? To get your customers to be emotionally attached to the game, and then that means you're gonna get stuck with it, and then that's when you have.
But why it annoys me is I don't think we should be that way.
But the problem with Kingdom Hearts 3 is...
I mean, tell people to turn off their emotions.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is that ugly nerd guy, right? That got with this hot girl.
Yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 is that really hot girl, right?
Yeah.
And, like, you're like, man, she's so hot, bro, she's cheating on you. Man,
she's cheating on you. She
she
has no personality. She doesn't like anything. She doesn't do anything interesting. She has no interesting skills. She's just really hot.
This is Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's Kingdom Hearts 3.
You like, bro, like, I saw her, like, I didn't see the proof. What proof do you have? That's not proof. Like, bro, here's a video of her sucking a guy. And you're like, bro, like, no, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, and that's what.
So you're saying Kingdom Hearts 3 is cheating on me, Montreal?
Yes, it's cheating on you with trash because it's trash. Like, the game is not going to improve. Like, when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, or Kingdom Hearts, whatever sides, well, I don't want to call it a side game because the fan base will get mad about that. But whenever other Kingdom Hearts game comes out, it's not going to improve on the next thing because it hadn't improved on, like, gameplay wise, right? Combat wise.
Yeah. This
game was worse than Birth by Sleep, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was worse than Dream Drop Distance.
It was the worst one, period.
Yeah, it was the worst one.
It's worse than Kingdom Hearts 1. Yeah. I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 1 more than I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3.
Exactly.
Just saying a lot.
Yeah, it regressed. Like, I don't understand how you did that because everyone told them about the combat. Like, they're like, man, the combat's like super floaty. Let's not have that. Or if you're going to have super floaty combat, have enemies respond to that really well. This game, they're just like, floaty combat, and I was playing Dynasty Warriors Kingdom Hearts Edition. Like, I said that because I at the end of the game, you were legitimately playing Dynasty Warriors.
That
like,
fight when you first go to the Keyblade.
Yeah, like, it's ridiculous. Like, each encounter actually in that game, when I went back and played it again just to see if I was like being like really hard on the game, each encounter you're encountering like 20 enemies. Yeah. And like in waves.
Yeah.
And now I'm playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 again. I'm like, you may get a 20 enemy fight, but it's like 10 enemies.
Yeah, but is that technical limitations?
Yeah.
Because think about it. In Kingdom Hearts 2, you had a Dynasty Warriors moment.
You did?
When you went, when it was the first battlefield against
all the... In Birth by Sleep, they designed the game like that. When I played Birth by Sleep Final Mix, there were literally 20 enemies on the screen. They designed the games like that, and you had a lot of AoE moves, especially with Vanitas and Aqua. You had a whole bunch of AoE moves that was like you're going to get thrown.
But that kind of shows that that's what they wanted to go for in the first place. But technical limitations stopped them from going any farther.
They achieved it in Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Birth by Sleep's a PSP game. I mean, there's you want to talk about technical limitations. I mean, that versus a PS2, they're probably on par with each other given their resolution. So I don't think technical limitations may have been the reason for Kingdom Hearts 2 feeling different. I think it was literally the director of the game, because there's people talk about Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 3, and then 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. The names are stupid. They talk about that as the quote Osaka team games, right?
Uh-huh.
Everybody mentions that. So that team they design combat differently than the older teams did.
Yeah,
right.
You can definitely tell. I mean, with Final Mix, with Kingdom Hearts 2, the reason I like that game so much.
You're talking about Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix?
Even the original one, but that's debatable. I understand why it's debatable.
Because yeah, they made a lot of improvements.
Changes. But even when I played it through the first time, I was like, this game's very technical. But I just go Final Mix, so that's the most current version out. There's really no way we can play the original ones without downloading an emulator or some shit like that.
No, man, I got those originals. Fire up the PS2.
Yeah, I think I have my copy on PS2 still.
Well, yeah, I can't find mine, so GG's, y'all.
You want me to lend it to you, bro? I got one.
Yeah, but I can just download an emulator. But Final 2 Mix, right? Like, when you play that game, it's very technical. You can do your combos. You can set up your combos. You can set up Sora the way you want to set them up. You can set them up to be a magic user, or you can set them up to be all physical. You can do what you want to do in that game. Now, the reason I say Final Mix is because they should have took that and was like, everything in Final Mix, put that in 3. Like, that's an improvement. Like, I shouldn't have to wait till a Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix 3 to get the improvements that we wanted. We shouldn't have to do that with every Kingdom Hearts. We had excuses last time. Like, obviously, we can't download DLC like that with Kingdom Hearts 2 when that came out.
Yeah, so we're going to charge you for a $60 game again.
Yeah.
Man. Here you go.
Yeah,
Monster does that all the time, too.
Yeah, and obviously, even Monster changed his model now. They're like, we're not going to do that shit anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
They adapted to the times.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be a DLC content, maybe like $40 if they do a Final Mix or something like that. $35 to $40. They do a Final Mix or whatever.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but so I'm not really necessarily giving shit about that. The thing is, we shouldn't have to have a Final Mix. This should be our Final Mix. Like, this should be like everything that happened. We improved upon, even if you wanted to improve upon the combat in Dream Drop Distance. Because to me, Dream Drop Distance was way better combat-wise than Birth by Sleep. They improved a lot. Like, a lot of people don't get
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get
People give a lot of hate to that game, and that game was good.
Yeah, it was.
It really was.
The combat was in between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts and Birth by Sleep. They made it kind of you felt the difference between Sora and Riku. Like, Riku was like really physical, and then Sora was like really magical and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you felt the difference, and then the flow motion in that game, even though it's overpowered, it worked really well.
Yes. I felt like they regressed on Kingdom Hearts 3 for flow motion.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like a side thing. Like, what?
Yeah.
Well, they threw almost every mechanic that's been in every Kingdom Hearts game into Kingdom Hearts 3, and they just made this messy soup that just didn't work together.
It became a jack of all trades.
Dude, when I got to Tangled, and they started introducing flow motion, I was like, what? Why is this here all of a sudden? Yeah, this isn't. And the thing is, you don't need flow motion at like any point in the game, really. Like, you really don't. Like, because they give you the high jump at that point, like the wall jump or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was nice for me because I love the wall jump. Like, that's how I traverse in Dream Drop Distance. Like, I just wall jump to wall jump to wall jump to wall jump to wall jump. They like nerfed it in Kingdom Hearts 3 though, because you can't chain wall jumps.
No, you can't go. Yeah, that was the problem. You can't chain it, and I don't think you.
They really give you the areas.
You don't get to go as far. That's the thing.
No.
I think that was the issue. I think flow motion was probably exactly the same as Birth by Sleep, but the problem is the maps were so big and wide that they didn't give you enough locations for you to latch onto, so you could.
So that's
do
my point
crazy
about
stuff.
it. That's my point about it. Why is it in the game? The game's not designed around the feature. It's almost like they're just trying to like cater to people who play Dream Drop Distance, and they're like, "Oh yeah, yay! The feature from the game I like is here." It's like that's not. Just, like, make a game specifically for itself.
Yeah.
You know, make features that work for the game that you're making. You know,
another problem with the Osaka team in their games is their boss fights. Now, granted, in Kingdom Hearts 3, the human boss fights in that game were really good. When you fought Vanitas as Aqua, when you fought Aqua, when you did at the end part when you fought all the organizations, like, your combat really came into fruition when you were playing these characters. Because they were responsive to you. Like, you know, you hit them, they flinch back, and then they have their little their revenge point that you can kind of predict.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a really good back and forth. Even the last fight with the Xehanorts, with all the Norts, like those fights were cool because you were fighting a human character that had like some kind of reaction. The problem I had with Osaka team ever since Birth by Sleep is that you fight these huge, ginormous monsters, boss fights, and you're just like hitting them. They're essentially bullet sponges from Destiny because you're just hitting them and they don't respond to it at all. They're just like, I'm still gonna do my moves. Like I'm like, there's no response there. There's nothing there. So that's why I hated the boss fights in this game. Except for like Davy Jones, that was a humanoid boss fight.
Yeah, that was good.
Like when you fought the monster from Tangled.
That is an interesting thing because Davy Jones staggered as well.
Yeah,
right?
He did stagger.
That is weird that they do that with the humanoids versus the monsters.
But the thing is, even in Kingdom Hearts 2, when you did fight the giant monsters, they staggered. Even in Kingdom Hearts 1, they staggered. Like when you fought the
you normally had to break something.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think that was the issue. They didn't make things that you could break.
There was no breaking point. There was no point where the monster, if you did enough hits, they would break and stagger.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They just didn't seem to be. That didn't seem to be in the game. So the combat suffered for it from those
I'm watching
fights.
My girlfriend played through Kingdom Hearts 1, and she was playing Tarzan's World. By the way, that world is terrible.
It's really bad.
Oh my god, that world is terrible.
There's a lot of worlds that I don't like on Kingdom Hearts 1.
The thing is, that world though, I have this weird nostalgia for that world that I actually like think about it fondly, even though it's terrible. I don't know why. I like it.
Really
I like it because there's like nobody there. Like Sora's just running around by himself for like half the level, and it's like it atmospherically is like because that was right after you get the Keyblade for the first time and you meet Donald and Goofy, but you immediately get separated from them, and he's just like, oh, I had these friends who were going to help me, and it's like, oh god, I'm alone again. Like what do I do? Yeah. You know, it's like so it was from that perspective. I actually enjoyed the atmosphere of the level because it's like he's like alone. Like it almost looked like a survival thing.
Yeah,
They didn't really present it that way. But, you know, that's kind of the way I looked at it in gameplay. And I don't know. I just enjoyed it for that side of it. So
all of that level was terrible. Like,
well, no, there's a lot of running back and forth. They don't tell you where to go.
Yeah,
it's not obvious where you're supposed to go. The way
very
the
painful.
maps interconnect is so weird and doesn't make any sense. And it's
I was
annoying.
so happy to get out of that world. I remember that.
No,
so
I agree
much.
with you guys. For the
Well,
most part.
really,
I
those
just have a
first
weird
two
thing.
worlds really sucked. Alice in Wonderland and Tarzan.
Yes.
Those
Oh,
were
yeah,
terrible.
She had a huge issue with Alice in Wonderland. I was like, man,
I hate that one.
The
Well, it's
boss,
because
the boss that
you
fight
literally
in
don't
it-
know what's
The
happening.
boss you fight in Alice in Wonderland, that fight, I forgot about that fight
That
until
fight is ridiculous.
But people were saying how much they hate that fight. Now, I remember it now, and I'm like, you can't even like hit that thing.
Yes.
No, you can't.
You have to hit your attack like perfectly arced at the top of your jump in order for Sora to go high enough to hit the enemy, to hit the boss.
She had some issues with that, and I was like, oh, you gotta jump on this and then do it. She's like, that's stupid. I'm like, it is stupid, but it was the first game, so we gave it a pass.
They didn't know any better.
But like, when she was fighting that boss, when she fought the guy with the shotgun, I forgot his name.
Clayton.
He was reactive when you hit
Sounds
him.
like a guy with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Clayton.
You fought him. He was kind of reactive. He had his stagger points, and then we jumped on a giant chameleon. It didn't stagger as much, but when she did enough damage, it did stagger.
Mm-hmm.
With the Osaka games, they don't stagger at all. Like they made like halfway through like 4 bars. Then they stagger. Like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna stagger. I forgot to do that. That was my coding. Like I forgot to do that earlier. But I don't know, man. Like they really need to go back to the drawing board on how they design their bosses. Like I can deal with the floatiness.
Yeah,
I can deal with all that shit. But the way they design their enemies, I can't deal with that shit. Like they really need to go back to the drawing board on that shit.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, the future of the series, like, you know, I said earlier that this game broke me, but the thing is like I love Kingdom Hearts, so if the next game is good, I will come back.
Yes.
But the thing is, as they release trailers for it and do press for it, I'm going to be scrutinizing this the way, you know, he's talking about it now, where I'm going to be looking at the combat and like specifically what mechanics look like they're there and not there, and the way the enemies are designed and the way the worlds are designed. Obviously the story's a big part of it as well. So it's like, if Disney's in the next game, that is going to instantly like lower my excitement level for it, because I just don't think it adds anything anymore. You know, I think we're at the point where Kingdom Hearts is like beyond Disney. It doesn't need Disney anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
I can see
That's
that
where
because
I'm
they
at.
already have their own storyline already going.
The thing is, though, Sora is Disney property.
Is he? No.
Yes,
No.
Sora's
No.
Disney property.
Is it just Sora?
I think Sora, Riku and Kairi are Disney properties.
I think you are right.
I thought all the original characters were Square Enix property.
No, I think Sora, Riku, and Kairi.
We'll need to find that out for sure, because my understanding is that all the characters they created are Square Enix property. Square Enix property.
I thought I definitely read that Sora is something like.
I've heard something like that. I've heard like it's a hybrid thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it's because I don't think it's fully Disney property, because then we would have other weird issues.
Because he was an original character for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So
is Aqua, Ventus, Terra.
That's what I'm saying. I think all these characters are like kind of like a joint thing. Like, I don't think Square Enix can put them in there.
I don't think they are.
I don't know, man.
They've done it. They put them in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius a few months ago.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They're in other games, so I think they're Square Enix characters.
Okay.
And if they're not, then I mean that does pose some issues for them, but I think they could get around it. Start over from scratch.
Yep.
Like, I think the real problem with breaking from Disney is the Donald, Goofy, Mickey, Yen Sid angle of things. Is that those characters have become so ingrained in the main storyline of Kingdom Hearts. I don't know how you get them out in a way that people would be not upset about.
I know how,
but you do it with Dream Drop. You do it like Dream Drop almost, not like a Dream World thing, but you make an adventure where it's just Riku and Sora instead of everybody.
Well, yeah, and then at the same time, I was always going to just say like, technically, everything's wrapped up, right?
That's true.
So
that is
technically, they always said like, you know, the lanes between the worlds are technically not supposed to intersect or anything like that.
Yeah, they can just
So
sever the world.
yeah, exactly. So technically, if everything's all sealed up and good to go, Mickey's gonna stay where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Donald and Goofy gonna be chilling with him. Yen Sid's gonna be in his own location, chilling.
Yeah.
And Sora, Riku, and Kairi are all doing their own thing.
What I'm saying though, is that if that sounds clean to me. However, the reaction from the fan base would not be good.
If the fans
Screw the fans, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, if the fans
Hot
really want.
take.
If the fans want Disney, there's so much content out there they can just play a Disney game. Like, go somewhere. Like, they can just go to Magic Kingdom or some shit.
Well, and plus at the same time, I feel like the fans are real Kingdom Hearts fans are far more invested in the story, rather, you know,
This
if
is the problem.
they
I
don't
think
have
with the fan
Donald and
base,
Goofy.
There's a huge split in the fan base because there are tons of Kingdom Hearts fans who don't give a shit about Sora, Riku, and all their BS with Xehanort and all that. They're there for the Disney stuff.
That's my
And
girlfriend.
there's the other side who are us, who are invested in the Sora, Riku, and all that stuff.
Well, that's why I said like true fans, because I feel like true fans don't
think
care about.
I mean, I don't think you could say that. Though.
That was the one appeal to this game. Like, it was one of those games where like people were like, this is a Final Fantasy game. I want to play that. And then other people were like, this is a Disney game. I want to play it. And kind of combine the best of both worlds. And a lot of people I know, they're like, man, I became a gamer off this one franchise. Like, I started playing Final Fantasy games because I was like, I want to know who Leon is, but his name's Squall. I want to know who this character is. So, like, I want to know who's this Cloud character. Like, they start playing other games just because of this game. Yeah. So, I mean, that happens with a lot of crossover titles. Like, I didn't know what Fire Emblem was until I played Super Smash Bros. Melee. Yeah. And I'm like, who's this Roy and Marth character? And I started going back and playing those games. So, the thing with this game, to me, though, it's funny because you guys both said the same thing, but you didn't touch on this point. This game does have a lot of nostalgia with its fan base. The thing is, I think it needs to grow up with this fan base. The story needs to be a little bit more mature.
I'm with you.
I think that was a huge disappointment for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, well, it is designed for kids. And it's like, I understand that, but you got to understand your fan base is 30 now. Like, I'm 30.
Right.
You know?
Dude, this is why I liked Birth by Sleep so much, is that was the game where I felt like Kingdom Hearts was growing up.
That was a mature story.
Yeah, because Vanitas and Xehanort were villains that were merciless, like, in the sense of Kingdom Hearts, were merciless. Like, they were manipulative, they were trying to kill everybody. Like, they weren't messing around, dude, you know? But then you come to this game, and it's just like everybody's just bumbling around.
Well, you know, like, so you guys are probably going to think this is like me beating the dead horse, but I actually think that they can't grow up the story until Disney is out.
No, that's
because
I'm with
think,
you. Yeah, I
because
think
to
they can do
be
both.
honest, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, things were already getting really dark.
Yes.
And so
Well,
technically,
I mean, Riku's whole arc in Kingdom Hearts 2 is dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally darkness.
yeah.
Like,
Even
so
in Dream Drop Distance, it was dark. I feel like that game was really dark for Sora because Sora had to face his fears without Donald or Goofy.
That's why this game is so annoying.
Yeah,
because the regression
was
in
because
Sora's character.
So that's why I don't think until Disney is fully out of the picture, because I don't think Disney will be like, hey, I don't think you can't do that with our characters.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, right?
Because I think they're really going to say that, because they're going to be like, well, you can't make Donald and Goofy dark.
Well, I'm with you, man.
Gosh.
We don't want to like
Gosh, Sora
or anything like that. We don't want none of that. I ain't talking about like that. But
no, I'm not talking about that either.
Does Disney own any like mature themed stuff? Like, do they?
Yeah, I mean, of course they do. Like, I mean, all the, I guess Marvel stuff.
No, like full on Disney franchises. I mean, yes, they're full on Disney franchises technically, but I mean, like within the Disney ecosystem,
even like side stuff within the Disney.
I mean, the Fox and the Hound is like super depressing, if that's what you're talking about.
Would you say Pirates is?
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates
of the Caribbean.
I think the Marvel movies, Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, stuff like that. Maybe the next Kingdom Hearts games can kind of be mature as like you play through the Thanos arc or something like that.
I feel like that's where they gotta go with it,
right?
To make it grow, something like
They
that.
do, because like I feel like the audience has grown with this game. They need to realize that. Like, I understand that the money's in the merchandise and toys and stuff like that, but this is your toy. Like, this is a toy for adults. Like, I mean, you can be like, you can have it not super gory or whatever.
I'm with Dennis, and I'd rather just see them break from Disney and go.
To be honest,
go more
I don't
mature.
think that's I'm just being realistic. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Right.
So
No,
I'm saying
I think it's possible. I legitimately think it's possible.
I think with the
that Secret movie made me think they're thinking about it.
The fan criticism, I think, alone has already started in the works of like making people think differently about Kingdom Hearts in general, the franchise.
I mean, because they bought Fox, right? So they have. Technically, Disney owns Alien vs. Predator. You know what I'm saying? Like, technically, they own.
That's a true point, though.
They own these franchises, and they can.
Oh my God.
They can
Alien
potentially.
vs. Predator. Come on, dude.
They
You're
can
kidding
potentially
me, right?
put that in. I mean, it can be rated T for teen stuff, but
that'd be weird.
They can potentially do that. I mean, would it be weird?
You think Sora, Donald, and Goofy running around Alien vs. Predator? I mean,
would it be weird though?
Yes,
like if they got rid of the Sora, if they got rid of Donald and Goofy element, right?
You got that little baby alien bust out Goofy's chest.
Yeah, man. Of course. That's what I'm talking about. Like, how are they gonna? They just.
Well, like, okay, they break away from the kiddie side, right? We started with the kiddie side, like, and you right, like they did a retro thing, like, okay, like Donald and Goofy, and like we're good now, we're okay, we don't need to do that. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe they had to travel into the darkness, right? Yeah. And we're in the darkness worlds. And these worlds are truly dark that even Mickey doesn't even know about these worlds. Yen Sid doesn't know about these worlds.
The villains won in all these worlds.
Yeah, these are the darkness worlds that you have to try to convert. And you go to these worlds and you're just with Aqua Terra or Aqua... Sora and Riku.
That's not a bad idea.
And you're fighting in,
Yeah, please bring Aqua back, please. Yeah. Do that character some justice.
First of all, the female characters written in this game. Aqua was such a good...
She's so cool, man.
She was such a...
They just ruined...
They dropped the ball with
They ruined her so much.
She beats Vanitas and then gets beaten again. It's like patriarchy. Like
it was kind of like that. I mean, I think they negated everything that she had learned previously.
That fight with Vanitas was awesome. That was like the best moment in the game for me.
It was really
And then a second after she gets defeated and Sora has to come save her, like, are you kidding me?
It's like what Kishimoto did.
Well, I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen. I had a feeling because they were like, no, this is Sora's story. Go, Sora, you have to win.
I hated the fact that they inserted Sora into every single moment of the game.
Well, that was another weakness in general.
Like a lot of modern writing, I find out, even if we talk about this in something else, like they develop the characters for the main character instead of developing the characters as
their own characters,
their individuals. So it's like every game I play that you have a crew, like your crew is just you. Like they're only living for you. Like when I played Mass Effect Andromeda, your crew was only living for you. Like I feel like none of them have their own personality. When I played this game, compared to the other side games, like I mean, Donald had his little moment and stuff like that, you know, in this game. But
everybody looks to Sora for leadership when he's not a leader.
He's not the leader.
Yeah, Goofy should be the leader. I mean, he had some of the best ideas out of the way.
Dude.
I mean, Goofy's super logical somehow. I don't know. He's just
but they all should have been looking at Riku in reality. Yeah, he's the Keyblade Master.
That's very true.
He's the Keyblade Master that just became a Keyblade Master. He's the one going into the realm of darkness with Mickey. Like, and they don't even do him justice.
Well, it's funny because they had like one very quick moment where Riku was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm awesome." Like, just understand, and then he died.
Yeah. Like they built all these other characters up through these other games that have their own personality, their own quirks, and everything like that. And I don't know if it's like a modern writing course and how you write characters nowadays. But like even in Star Wars, Rey, like I feel like Finn, Poe, Rose is everyone's just like looking to Rey. Like was in the original trilogy, everyone had their own mission. Like no one was looking to Luke. At the end, they're like, okay, Luke, you gotta probably do your own thing. But like Han Solo had his own thing. He had his own character arc. Princess Leia had her own character arc. You know, even Ben Kenobi had his own character arc. And like in these games, like to me that stuck out in this game because like you said, everyone's looking towards Sora, and Sora's not the most important person to me in the game. And in the franchise, he wasn't.
That's the problem with him continuing to be the protagonist of these games, is that he's not the one that is resolving the problems anymore.
I felt like he should have died at the end. Like when he got struck by that tornado, he should have died, and it should have been like, okay, Riku's going to pass the man. They were
in his place. He should have given up his quote heart for Kyrie's. That's what should have happened.
Well, I mean, technically they
kind of hinted at that.
They hinted at that.
Yeah, but why do we need a whole other game for that to happen? I don't need a whole other.
No. I mean, like negating the whole secret ending, right?
Yeah.
So if you negate the whole secret ending, there's two outcomes. There are actually two ways that you can look at it.
Yeah.
Sora saves Kyrie, and he just dies. He fades away. Like, hey, how you go? Peace out. Because I mean, they hinted.
Kingdom Hearts, they never kill a character off.
I know. I'm just saying. Like Kingdom Hearts 3, they hinted that, hey, Sora, once you get this, the moment that he understood his power or whatever like that, they're like, hey man, if you use this too much, or you just use it willy-nilly like he started doing, you're just gonna die. Like, you're gonna go. I mean, like, think about it. The young Xehanort, once you defeat him, he literally is like, you already lost. He's like, man, bye.
Let's talk about young Xehanort, because that dude at the end, he lost and he didn't care. He's like, I'm still gonna go to the past. What about you?
Well, yeah. No. I mean, but I think that was like that was like
you should have just put the middle finger like
I mean, that was like his whole character arc in the first place, though, because he was literally just like, I don't care. I already have a future, so I'm just here to help out. Like, hey guys, I guess you need me, right? So okay, here you go. Let me do this, and then he goes over to Sora and just say, hey man, how about I make fun of you real quick? And then I'll say some random mumbo jumbo and then peace out. And then, that's like, and then he was like, oh wait, I need to give you some advice because you're really stupid. So do this. But like I said, I feel like if you go back to the ending, the two outcomes, Sora dies and he's done. And they did the secret ending is just really just being like, hey guys, it may be something dealing with, Square Enix stuff, Square Enix properties.
The world that it went into was
World That Never Was.
The World That Never Was.
The
world World Ends With You. Sorry. Yeah. Or you have the other option. I've actually heard. Actually, I guess there's three, but there's the other one where it's Sora's technically still looking, and Kyrie's just chilling somewhere else.
Yeah. I heard that he actually came to the real world. Like our world.
Exactly. And that would be the second outcome.
That's actually the first thing that came into my mind when that video started playing. I was like, are they in our world? And then I was like, oh, they have a game set in Tokyo.
Yeah. And so the second one is pretty much saying like Sora's still alive and he's looking for Kyrie out there, and then Riku's probably eventually gonna come being like, hey, I'm looking for Sora because he hasn't come back yet. But because Sora can't do anything by himself anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think I think if you go by the more darker turn, Sora's gone. Like, this is the end of his arc. This is the end of everything that we need to know about Sora.
I was hoping for that, but dude, that secret movie just throws all that out the window.
Yeah,
I know, but they can. That's the thing. They can
Final
still
Fantasy realms. They can go dark. They can do the Final Fantasy worlds, and you can still have Sora, Donald, and Goofy there with it because it kind of. Because they were there. Squall and them were there, and in our worlds, and in Disney worlds and shit like that. So they can do that. The whole thing is, though, I think. My main takeaway from this in Kingdom Hearts in general in the fan base and just being a part of that fan base is I think we need to criticize the game more. Our feedback needs to reach them more. I don't know how, but we can't just say I know we love the game, but we just can't be like, oh man, I love the game and it was cool. It had some quirks, but that's okay because they're never going to improve the game. No franchise is improved upon just positivity, they need some kind of criticism to keep them going. That's with any product in general. So I feel like us as a fan base, because I consider myself part of the fan base as well, we just need to do a better job at not taking the crap they give us. Because let's be honest, it's not crap, but there's a lot of stuff that team can improve on.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my take, though. I don't know about your guys.
Yeah, my takeaway is, I want to see some big changes, and whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. I have my doubts. I'm with you. I don't think realistically they're going to get away from Disney, but I think for the future of the series, it would be better for them to do that.
I just feel like this game.
I think Disney's anchoring their storylines down at this point.
I just feel like this game's like the Pokemon game with its time because. The fan base is stuck in its ways, like how Pokemon fan base is stuck in their ways.
Yeah, but that's different though. Those games are actually what people want still. So
true, and at the same time, Pokemon's kind of dealing with a whole different fan base.
Yeah,
I think this game was a turning point in the franchise because everyone else. I think this is the one that actually gave the most real criticism because the rest of the games, people would be like, oh, no matter how bad it was, they would still be like, okay, it's still a good game, and they would stay with it.
Actually, I think this is the first game to actually come out in the digital age, the digital information technology age. Because you think about it, right? I think the last one that came out, not the remasters or anything like that.
Birth by Sleep, if you want to do mainstay games and not dealing with
2.8. Distance came out in 2012.
Yeah.
But
that's what I meant. I'm sorry. Birth by Sleep.
This is the first game to come out on a system that actually could, have patches, had an online infrastructure. The 3DS had that, but it wasn't.
It didn't reach a major audience. Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep and everything came out. People weren't online like that anymore. We weren't online like that at all. Some people still had AOL. Some people did have cable internet. The online, there wasn't really a Twitter. There wasn't a Facebook like that. Those were there, but they weren't how big they are now. Whereas with now, you're getting opinions and everything from each side. So if they don't take the criticism, they're legitimately ignoring it. They just flat out ignored it if they don't improve upon the next game.
Yeah. So, I think that's, in some ways, if you want to think about it, that's some hope of... This is this is how you can actually
give us a speech, Dennison.
You can get real. I think it's hope because you get real feedback at this point.
Yeah,
people. There's a decent amount of people out there that did not like this game.
Yeah,
and they felt like they were betrayed. Mm-hmm. And so, if you want to actually make your fan base stay with you, no matter how much you want to try to get a new fan base or continue with, adding new people, you always have to remember that your main fan base is the ones that actually matter the most. Yeah. So I think if they actually want to keep their fan base, they have to take the criticism not lightly and do something about it. And I feel like it's possible for that to happen.
Yeah, I feel like if they take a while, that's why I'm gonna give it another chance. If they come out with the final mix, I took my Kingdom Hearts 3 out back already, but I'll just borrow my friend's copy and I'll try it. If if they have it and I try it, I'm like, okay, this is decent. Because like Kingdom Hearts 2 and then Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix is a big jump, and I feel like they may do the same thing here because they did improve a lot of the animation frames and stuff like that. How they got that feedback at that time, I don't know how they got that feedback because that game was like truly like
people wrote letters to them.
Yeah.
No, they were probably trolling GameFAQs forums or some shit.
Yeah, they were probably doing that, and they were probably also going just by like things that they couldn't do time constraint wise. They're like, okay, we kind of ran out of time, but this is stuff that we already wanted to do.
Yeah.
So they went back and like, all right, let's fix this and this and this and this. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it sounds like we've hashed it out here. We're all still friends.
Yeah,
we haven't murdered each other. I think we're all in a similar place with this. So, all right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week. So, as I said earlier in the episode, if you like this episode, please like the episode wherever you're listening to it. Subscribe to the show, review the show, share it with your friends. If you want to talk to any of us, Montrell's on Twitter at iTrapForTheHokage. That is the number 4, not the word. I am at ThunderNut01. Dennison doesn't have a Twitter.
No, I do not.
John, do you have a Twitter?
I do. It's Newsition24. Like
Okay.
NEWS, and the rest is like Ishin, I guess.
And,
You guys want to plug?
yeah, you want to plug your show again?
Yeah, the Catch Up Podcast. Just type in the Catch Up. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/the Catch Up Cast.
Mm-hmm.
And
we also got an Instagram page.
Got the Instagram page.
What day of the week you guys post?
We post every Monday. Every Monday morning we go live at 7 a.m. So, driving to work,
Nice.
people can
Yeah, I like it.
come
Yeah,
along
yeah.
with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's
Can't
the
wait to get on your podcast, man.
Well,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
we're gonna do that next. Thank you for joining us, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
Dennison,
Yeah.
letting us come here and record. So, if you want to send questions to the show, you can do that at theplayerstake01@gmail.com. And that is going to be it. Next week, I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. Hopefully, a Nintendo Direct happens, and we can talk about that. But we hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we will see you on the next one. All right, bye, guys.